Welcome to today's session on Learning with ISRAR. In this video presentation, we're diving into one of the most important steps in the procurement process, preparing an invitation to tender, or ITT. An ITT is a formal document that invites suppliers to submit competitive bids for delivering goods, services, or works. Stay with us as we break simple yet professional outline you can use to create an effective ITT, along with real examples to help you understand each part. Here is a professional outline you can use to create an effective ITT. First is introduction, second is background information, then scope of work, requirements, also instructions to bidders, eligibility criteria, evaluation criteria, terms and conditions, tender schedule, and the last one is annexes. Now let's start explaining each section of the ITT with examples. In the introduction section, mention the project title, including procuring entity name, issue date of ITT, tender reference number, and also briefly describe the nature and scope of the tender. For example, you can write, "This ITT invites bids for supplying and delivering laboratory equipment to the Department of Health Sciences. The selected bidder must meet technical specifications and provide after-sales support and warranty services." In the next section of ITT, you will provide bidders' background information, including relevant background on your organization, the reason for this tender, project objectives or strategic importance. For example, you can write, "The XYZ Health Department is upgrading district hospitals with modern diagnostic tools under the government's Health Sector Development Program. This tender aims to procure and install laboratory equipment as part of that initiative, in accordance with public procurement rule." The third section of ITT document is scope of work, requirements in which you clearly define goods, services, works to be procured, quantity and specifications, deliverables and performance standards, location of delivery or execution, timeline and duration. Using the same example we are using in this presentation, you can write that this procurement involves supplying 20 certified automated blood analyzers with 100 samples, our list compatible to government hospitals, 10 units each to location A and location B. Deliverables include equipment, manuals, calibration certificates, and a 1-year warranty, and equipment must meet 95% uptime quarterly, with delivery required within 45 days of contract signing. In the next section of IIT, you will write the instructions to bidders, including deadline for submission, format of proposals, for technical and financial separately, mode of submission, through email, portal or in hard copy, language and currency, validity period of bids, and contact person for query. For example, you can write the instructions to bidders like this. Bidders must submit their proposals by 3 p.m. on Monday, the 30th of September 2025. Proposals must include a technical proposal, without prices, and a financial proposal, separately sealed or marked. Following the formats in Annexes A and B, submissions can be made free or via email and PDF format. Proposals must be in English, with prices quoted in local currency inclusive of all taxes. Bids must remain valid for 90 days. And at the end, give the information for queries. Contact Mr. ABC, Procurement Officer, at email address or call at phone no during office hours. In this section of ITT, you will give the eligibility criteria for the bidders. Bidders must meet the following eligibility requirements to be considered for evaluation: legal eligibility, registration and tax documents, experience requirements, financial capacity, any exclusion clauses including blacklisting or conflict of interest. For example, you can fill this section like this: to be eligible, bidders must meet the following criteria: legal eligibility, must be a legally registered entity with valid company and tax certificates. Experience, must show proof of relevant past projects, preferably of similar scale and complexity. Financial capacity, must have sound financial health, verified through audited financials and a minimum turnover threshold. In exclusion criteria clause, mention that bidder must not be blacklisted or barred by any authority. Declare no conflict of interest and disqualification for false, fraudulent, or unethical practices. In this section, you have to specify the evaluation criterion upon which the bid would be evaluated, including technical evaluation on quality, compliance and methodology, financial evaluation like cost competitiveness, weightings if applicable like 70% technical and 30% financial. For example, all submitted bids will be evaluated in 2 stages. The first stage is technical evaluation. It has 70% weight. Here bids are assessed based on compliance with requirements, alignment with scope and specifications, methodology and approach, clarity, feasibility, and timelines, team qualifications, relevant expertise of key personnel, past performance, proven success in similar projects. Innovation and value-added services, extra benefits or risk reduction. Note: a minimum score of 60% is required to qualify for financial evaluation. In the second stage, bids are evaluated on financial criteria. Here bidders must submit complete, signed, and stamped financial proposals in the specified format, in local currency and inclusive of all taxes. Errors are corrected and considered binding, while incomplete or conditional bids may be rejected. Evaluation follows either the cost method or a weighted QCBS approach for consulting services. Proposals are reviewed based on total cost, life cycle cost, delivery impact, and ownership cost. Bids are also checked for compliance, accuracy, validity, bid security, and proper disclosures. Disqualification may occur for incomplete, unrealistic, or conditional bids, or if required security is missing. The contract is awarded to the lowest evaluated responsive bidder, followed by formal award procedures. There are following terms and conditions in this section of ITT. Payment terms, contract duration, penalties or liquidated damages, confidentiality, and dispute resolution. For example, terms and condition include following: payment terms, payments made post-delivery and invoice approval. Standard terms apply like net 30. Advance payments need a valid guarantee. Contract duration, valid for a fixed term like 12 months, extendable upon agreement and performance. Penalties, delays or non-performance may incur daily fines like 0.5%, up to 10%. Ongoing issues may lead to payment hold or termination. Confidentiality, all information is confidential and requires written consent for disclosure. Dispute resolution, initially resolved amicably. Unresolved issues proceed to arbitration under agreed rules, location, and language. ITT also includes tender schedule including issue date, deadline for clarification, submission deadline, date and time, bid opening date, date and time, evaluation period, duration of evaluation dates, and contract award date. An example of tender schedule. Also make notes of these that bidders should submit queries early, before the clarification deadline. Submissions must meet the stated deadline to be valid. All dates may change at the discretion of the procuring entity, with updates formally shared with registered bidders. The final section of the ITT comprises the following annexes: Annex A, Technical Specifications, TOR; Annex B, Pricing Template; Annex C, Bid Submission Form; Annex D, Company Profile Template, if required; Annex E, Draft Contract. These annexes include: Annex A, Technical Specifications, TOR, defines the scope of work, deliverables, technical criteria, and performance standards. Annex B, Pricing Template, standard format for financial proposals, detailing unit prices, totals, and taxes. Annex C, Bid Submission, mandatory form affirming bidders' acceptance of terms and summarizing the proposal. Annex D, Company Profile Template, if required, format for presenting company background, legal details, staffing, experience, and delivery capacity. Annex E, Draft Contract, sample agreement outlining general terms and conditions for the selected. This was a brief overview on how to prepare an invitation to tender, ITT, document, along with examples. For more detailed information, please check in the description. If you still have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll be happy to respond. Thank you for your time and attention. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If a specific topic or concept related to supply chain, procurement, or logistics you'd like me to cover, just let me know. Goodbye for now. See you in the next presentation.